everyone. I hope that you're doing super, super well. Uh, as you know, that we didn't do some IG lives last week. We kind of felt that the world needed a break. There's so much going on, and we felt, oh, my guest has actually arrived. Today, we've got the most incredible, inspiring guest, Fahad, who I actually met through my advisor, Lisa, and best friend. And he'll be joining us today. He has so much insight as an entrepreneur, but also as an angel investor. So it'll be very cool to find out his views on both sides. So without further ado, let me bring him on. There he waiting. Oh, hello,
Hi,
handsome.
how are you?
Good, and you've got such a nice glow. What is that?
Thank you. I think it's just the lighting. My apartment is like windows everywhere, so it's just the sun. You don't need.
Well, I think the sun is the best glow. I mean, I'm having to use artificial light everywhere. Um, yeah, like my house seems to be like a little cave. How are you today?
I'm really well. I've had like a slow start of the week, but today's the first day that I feel like really on top form, so it's been good. And you?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's been a very productive week. Yeah, I'm super excited because there's a lot of app updates that are about to get released to everyone,
That
which
is
I've
really
been actually
exciting.
waiting for a couple of months. So I am so excited.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I can't wait to get your wardrobe all lined up and there. You've got the
Yes.
most like amazing array of shirts that I've noticed that I'm like, "Ooh,
You know,
I
it's
need
it's
one."
become a new hobby of mine that if anybody comes over, I have to dress them up in one of my shirts. It's a thing now.
Oh, well,
Next
when
time you're over,
when isolation's done, I'm coming over. Because
please.
you've got a walk-in wardrobe, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, that you are my perfect
But
person.
only half full. Like the left side is full and the right side is like empty. So it's kind of like a sad walk-in wardrobe.
Well, don't worry, I can fill
Yes,
it. So, my darling one, can you please introduce yourself to the LBD community?
my name is Fahad and I am from Saudi Arabia originally. I've been in London for 4 years. Before that, I was in New York for a long time. I started out more on the angel investment side in consulting, and a couple of years ago, started a company, and now I'm starting my second company as an entrepreneur.
Love it, love it. Okay, so can you tell us a bit more about your babies, company number one and company number two?
So the first company that I started, which is called Picnic, and I think me and you started at the same time with our project, and that really bonded us over our journeys.
Yeah.
A social health focused app. And what we mean by that is there were a lot of problems that I was seeing as an investors behind the curtain of how a lot of these social apps were actually taking advantage of our attention spans, and there wasn't a lot of follow through in terms of what is it actually doing for us in our mental health and our physical health, and this concept of like what is the science behind friendships and relationships in real life, and how do we recreate that online without it feeling like heavy but still having it be fun. So that's where Picnic was born out of, and we called it Picnic because you can't have a picnic indoors really. I mean, otherwise it's a dinner party, but it's like it's this concept of bringing people back into really healthy dynamics socially, online and offline. So that was the first company that I started, and we're working with top social experts and scientists that are focusing on figuring out what is the science behind friendship and how do we make that into an online platform.
And
Um,
it's super cool because I've used it and has really fun gifts that
yeah,
just automatically get created when you do an event and really cool emojis.
yeah.
And I
So
bit of
the
like
point
love
of
and
it is like
laughter.
if you go on it, it looks really stupid and fun, but in reality, there's science and there's intention about everything that we do. So when you are using those gifts and you are doing those things that seem very like fun and silly, there's a reason why we're putting those intentional features to create further and stronger bonds between you and your friends or even strangers. Um,
No, I love that part.
Thank you.
And tell me about your second baby.
So the second baby is very, very new. It's maybe premature to talk about it too much, but it all my endeavors have always come from a very personal space. People say it's business, it's not personal. For me, it's the opposite. It is business is personal, you know? So I encountered a problem with social technology, and that's why Picnic was started, along with my co-founders, Jack and Johnny, because we all identified that issue. And then now my new company, which is in sleep health, came about because I've always struggled with sleep since I was a child. And I just thought that was what everybody felt like until I was living in New York and maybe I was 25, 26, and something clicked and I started sleeping through the night. And suddenly it dawned on me, wow, this is what a normal human being feels like. This is what happens when you sleep every night well. So I'm dedicating myself now to figuring out the science behind sleep and how do I make that into something that is hyper focused and targeted rather than like a one size fits all solution.
Yeah. Oh my God, love that.
Thanks.
Because sleep is so important. Because when I had my first business, I was like an insomniac, and I just didn't sleep, and then it really did affect my mental health and my physical, which you can already notice in Picnic and in sleep, like in sleep health. And yeah, I totally value a good night's sleep, and I'm always in bed now before 12 and after 7 hours.
Well, it's funny you say that because the name of the company is Agnes without an E, which stands for a good night's sleep.
Ooh.
And yeah.
I love that.
Thanks.
We could have so much fun with that branding. and I hope some promotional things with nice some silk pillowcases that, like, you know, are good to your hair and your face. Yeah, I can see so much great branding out of this. Yeah. I'm loving it.
It's like branding first and product second. Like that's how mine works.
Pajama party.
Yes, 100%. You can come into my closet. I do have a large collection of actual pajamas. Nobody wears pajamas, but I love them.
Oh wait. Next time we see each other, we're going to do a pajama stash. Like, this is good. Yeah. Oh, on LBD, we can do some swapping. I love it.
Yes, exactly.
So tell me, so before the creation of your amazing businesses, you were an angel investor and a consultant.
Yeah.
So can you give us a bit of insight to how that world was like in comparison to then becoming an entrepreneur and then having to face the angels yourself?
I would say that fundraising for Picnic was probably the most humbling experience of my life, because previously when I was living in New York and I was just investing, which happened naturally because I had friends that were starting projects and I either personally invested or got other people involved, people were coming to me and trying to pitch me all the time and I was being chased. And then the script flipped and I was chasing people and asking them for money, which felt really wrong. But I really believed in the idea and I wanted to see it come to life. And it feels like you have a baby and you want to give it the fairest shot in life so that it succeeds. And that's what I kept telling myself while I was fundraising. As an angel investor, it was more about like, well, how can I shut down a lot of these noises and people that are coming to me and find the ideas that will succeed? Versus now it's like, I have one idea and I think this is going to be really big. How can I convince you and, you know, so many other people that it is the next big thing so that you are going to invest in me and support my journey. So it was the most humbling experience. I think it's one of the toughest things I've ever gone through. And it opened my eyes so much to what entrepreneurs go. So even now as an investor, I'm a lot softer and kinder and a lot more humble in my approach and than I used to be, because I know what it feels like.
Oh, that's good to hear, because I mean, like us through the fundraising journey, and actually we discussed this a lot, like it is hard.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I express it as your baby because you put so much emotion into it and passion that obviously you do want it to have the best success. And so going to these angel investors, you're pouring your heart out almost. And any advice to entrepreneurs who are seeking investment, like what's the best kind of way of approach? Like you said, you had a lot of friends keep on asking you, being like, are you into this? Are you up? Should they be doing a lot of follow-ups or just leave the investment if the investor that they should come to you? I mean,
yeah, I think the best advice I could give is don't try to sell something to someone who isn't buying it, right? Like there's just, if it doesn't resonate with them, if they don't understand it, everybody has a motivation. Some people are motivated by pure financial success than people are purpose driven. So if you think of it as a spectrum of like financial and then purpose, everybody lies somewhere along that, and you need to identify who they are, and then when you pitch to them and present to them, that is what you need to highlight. So approach each target in a unique and specific way, and don't feel like you have to win everyone over, because you won't. You just won't, you know? And as long as you like that out from the beginning, you keep trying and trying, and those that you resonate with and vice versa will become part of your, you know, they're partners in your company. They're not just investors. So it is a relationship that you're building.
Amazing advice. I actually might, you know what I'm going to do is after this is like recorded, I'm just going to replay that scene.
I mean, you're doing great on your own. Like, you don't need my advice. You have given me plenty of advice. And I need to say, like, how amazing you've been in your own journey. Like, I really admire what you've done. And
thank
you. You know, like, even just the positivity that you've had throughout this entire process was something that I thought about when I was going through more difficult moments.
Oh, well, like, I am here for you and you're here for me. That's the great thing about our relationship. We bonded on our fundraising journey, but then it was a soulful moment that was like, I've got a friend for life.
Exactly. That's actually another good piece of advice, is not only seek other like investors, find other entrepreneurs that are in the same journey, because that will be the greatest support you can have. Completely.
Like, a good network around you is so key, because for the 100 people that you see, like, you'll probably get like one yes to the 100, and you just got to keep powering on in there.
Exactly.
And like you said, you do meet your person, like, and it is your partner. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't go into business thinking those that invest in you are just gonna disappear. They are your partners. So choose wisely.
100%.
And so, going on to the situation that we're in, which is COVID, isolation, how do you feel that has impacted businesses, especially ones that are probably like my size and probably Series A?
Yeah, I think at the beginning, everybody was at a standstill. There wasn't a lot of investment happening because we just didn't know what was going on. And then opportunities started being created. So for us, if we were going to raise in 6 months from now or a year from now, we made that an earlier target to make sure that we are, if not gaining investment, at least listening to those that are investing, what they're looking at and what they need. But in reality, for companies like mine that are in the social space, it's been really good, because, you know, me and you now are speaking on Instagram, and people are watching us on this social app where, you know, we don't have an alternative to meet in real life. So it's good. It depends on what industry you're in. I think some are suffering, but for me, it's been really positive. And then seek out opportunity. Money's out there and people want to invest. They're just scared of losing money. So if you present yourself in a way, if you change your business model, if you say you're saving money, you're extending your runway, all the necessary things, then I think investors will actually respect that more, and it could give you a leg up on other founders that might lose traction and fail because of COVID.
Totally agree. And also, I feel during COVID, businesses really need to have, like, what is the social and conscious impact as a business, and really pioneer that forward. Because I think beforehand, yes, it was just like in that kind of hamster wheel going forward, and then being like, yes, it's either the aim of like financial or passion. But I think now, with the world what it's going through, you need to really have like a conscious foundation. I've seen that a lot with the investors that we're speaking to. So that was a lot of input. And then on to my last question, and actually the one I'm most interested in. What is your one wardrobe tip to the LBD fam?
So as we mentioned before, I'm kind of known for like my shirts. And I would say the tip is get the basics straight. Like, I love these t-shirts from Sunspell, and I have like a lot from Folk as well. They're all pretty basic and different colors. And then I wear a lot of my dad's old shirts. I buy a lot of like maybe nicer, interesting shirts, because then you can really express your personality without it feeling like it's something like, if you want to take it off and just be in a t-shirt, you can. Or if you just want to put a shirt on or a jacket on that's more interesting, you can. So invest in the basics, but then like experiment with shirts and jackets.
I love that. I love that. And also, you're not just known for your shirts, you're also known for your most fantastic dancing.
Thank you.
Let's not forget that.
That only happens after a certain hour, but yeah. Actually, no. My neighbors like listen to me play music all day. That's not true.
we should be dancing like while we're on this IG live. Oh wait. We've got a question. After lockdown is over, which kind of businesses do you think will thrive and which will falter?
You know, I really believe that anything that is creating more, any technology that is humane or creates more human interaction in a level that feels real will thrive, because we're going to start seeking that more. And I think anything that alienates people or makes them feel more separated is not going to. So that's kind of the idea in my head, is how do I create more humane technology?
Great answer. And on that note, Fahad, I want to say the biggest thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate your time and your love. And I can't wait to see you when isolation is restricted and play in your wardrobe.
Thank you so much for having me. And I am such a big fan of you and Little Black Door. So I'm honored to be on this. Thank you, Marina.
I'm a big fan of you. But bye, my darling.
Bye.
Lots of love.